And we are recording. Yes, folks, we are recording the review this time. The review of the map Frozen. First thoughts, guys. What do you got?
Kind of bland.
To you. Kyo, you have anything?
Wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. I don't think it was that bad. Yeah, it does have that little blandness to it, but it does certainly make up for originality. The fact that we had different weapons that were not the original set, such as the AWP and let's see, the scoped assault rifle tier 2 weapon. You also had the other tier 1 assault rifle. That certainly does give a variety to this game. Although it does kind of feel easy when you give them the most overpowered weapon and then you give them a laser sight. It's kind of a bit overpowered. Especially then you don't even need the scope. Although, if you get the scope, yeah, it's even more overpowered than it was before. Anyways, I digress. In terms of how the map is designed, it's fairly decent. It has a lot of stuff to look at least, but it does have that bland factor of, well, there's not a whole lot to look at. It does have stuff to look at, just not a whole lot of it. Anyways, that's all I got. Anybody else have anything to add?
Not really.
Okay. I take Kyo doesn't have anything to add. So, we're going to go on, do the review. 5 stars max, 1 star minimum. I'll start with Kyo, Dread, then I end it. Kyo, number of infected, what did you think?
I didn't think there was any problem there myself. I'm gonna give it the full star. I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything that I didn't like about that. So
Okay. Dread.
We'll give it a full star. The infected weren't that bad. It's just a little odd that at the beginning we didn't have many specials spawning.
Okay. I'll give it a full star as well. As far as the specials go, Dread, I think that's okay. It kind of gives a player a chance to finally get a weapon and everything. Because we started out with just pistols, and on the way we found melees. We finally needed to get a better gun in the process. We ended up finding it about halfway through that first part of the map almost. Which means I can forgive it just a tad. Other than that, the infected weren't much of a bother. They didn't present too much of a challenge, but they also presented enough challenge that they were there. They were in our way. The way the common infected should be. So yeah, all around it's pretty good. Moving on to length. Keel, what'd you think about length? We did about 43 minutes.
yeah, it's you know what, full star. I didn't have a problem with it personally.
Okay. Dread.
I guess I'll give it a full star too, because for 40 some minutes for a 4-part map, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, and I agree. It is a full star. Length, each part was balanced. It felt like the same amount of time going each through each of them. 43 minutes going through a 4-part map is about hitting our average. There's a lot of exploration that we could do. It's pretty much a lot more open to the point where you can almost go different routes to get to the safe room. It's kind of weird. It's not as linear as most maps we have played recently. Each thing has something different about it, each part of the map. First one, we're outside. The next one, we're kind of battling our way through a school. Next one, we're suddenly at a Walmart. You know, it's kind of almost progressing through and through, trying to get to this from point A to point B. And it doesn't necessarily need to be in a theme, as long as it's in the wintertime, which is probably its theme, with the name and everything. So yeah, it's pretty good in terms of length. Moving on to difficulty fitting. Kyo, what do you think about difficulty?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I get a full stall.
Alright. Dread.
I'll give it a full star. It was okay.
Yeah, I will too. It's very balanced. It didn't seem overpowered with any of the infected. It gave us the right amount of ammunition when we needed it. It gave us guns when we needed it. It gave us melees when we needed those. It gave us variety of all those weapons. It also gave us health when we absolutely needed it. Only problem I have with it would probably be the finale. But then again, it's balanced because you don't really need a gun to complete the finale until you get to the tanks. It to give us all the weapons at the very end, it's nice. I like it. At the same time, it's something we just don't need that much of. I mean, 3 of each weapon is something that we don't necessarily need of. Although at least 2 of each weapon would have been nice, because that gives a player, at least 2 players get a chance at it. But again, to have every single weapon, it seems almost like over half of them are useless. It would have been better just to have like 1 weapon and have an infinite spawn, instead of having like 3 of each weapon that you can only grab 1 of. Other than that, there really wasn't much of a problem. Everything else seemed balanced. Overall, it's full star there. Moving on to theme. Keel, what'd you think about theme?
Theme was frozen.
Mm-hmm.
There was snow. Full stall.
Alright. Dread.
I agree with the theme, but honestly, I thought it was a little bland, so I'll give it 3/4.
Alright. I'm gonna give it a full star. The reason I give it a full star is, yeah, it stays within the name in terms of Frozen. It does have a lot to go for it, but it is a little on the bland side. But I think it makes up for it because the guy did put a little bit of custom graffiti. He put up custom posters. He put up Textureless Man, which I know that was a custom mod that he put on the man, but seriously, it was textureless, and that's just awesome because it's still seen his face. What else? The fact that he added in the other weapons from, I believe, the European version of the game is a plus. It gives a variety. The fact that this is an original style of a map, the fact that you put a custom mod to the tanks that are in the train, and only for those 2 tanks. The only problem I have with it is probably the finale's train. You cannot stand on that. If you stand on it before it and it moves, you die. I have experienced this with Kyo a couple nights ago because we tested out the map to make sure it was working, to make sure that the tanks were showing up for us because we had problems with that. And yeah, the train is only touchable until it hits the very end. After it's moving, I don't know if that's just something he just didn't fix. I don't know if it's a glitch. I don't know if it is indeed at all fixable, but I'm pretty sure it is. We've played maps that have a train move. So overall, its blandness is overthrown by the fact that it's an original map, the fact that it has a lot of original content added to it, extra special cameos of whatever he added to it. Plus, the person did try to make a decent map out of it. So yeah, overall full star from me. Final thing, recommendations. Keo, do you recommend it?
Yes.
5 stars from Keo. Dread, do you recommend it?
I'd recommend it, but I would say not to be expecting anything earth-shattering.
Okay, you want to give it a full star or what?
Give it half a star.
And I'll give it a full star. It's a 5-star map from me and Keo. Dread, you gave it 4.25. It's overall a really good map. I would recommend you guys give it a try. Based on what we've seen, what we've played, it's just really good. It needs a little bit of room for improvements. The fact that one of the things I forgot to add on to theme was the water effects on the very finale part. That is a cool design. If you can improve that, by all means go for it, because it could have a little room for improvement in terms of when you shoot the glass, it doesn't have that wall effect, because it does kind of look ugly, but overall it's not a big deal. The fact that we can walk through it looks like a wall of water, that is pretty cool. I have yet to see that in any other map. So yeah, pretty much it's a good map. To the creator, kudos. You did pretty damn good. We wish that we had Meta in here, but he didn't want to be. I think he was just busy overall. So, since he's not here, I am forced to say like, subscribe, and comment on our videos. PM us, to the creators, PM us on YouTube. Kind of tell us if you want us to re-review your map, if you've updated it or what. Or if you have another map instead that you want us to try out, and we'll review that too. As for all the other commenters, please comment on our videos. Give us feedback. We enjoy that. And if you do have a recommendation, you can also PM us on YouTube. So yeah. Anybody else have anything to add to that?
Not really.
Alright, Kyo?
Nope.
Alright. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I know this is kind of almost a boring version of our video, because normally when we have Meta in here, it's almost... he has a lot more to add to it, but again, he wasn't. There isn't a whole lot to talk about the map itself anyway. It's pretty good. And we're all a little bit trying to get off the holiday thing, so we're kind of all more on focus of that. So, see you all later, and hope you enjoy our videos. Bye-bye.